I'm from Abia State, the riverine part of Abia. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming under Constitutional Order 315 sub 5. Mr. Speaker, I'm relying also on Constitutional Order on Land Use Act. Mr. Speaker, I want you to look at Section 9 sub 2 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I will take you to 64 of the exclusive list. Mr. Speaker, I want to question the jurisdiction for us to entertain the water bill. We have no local state jurisdiction, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to adopt the postulations and argument of Honorable Zandu as if they are mine. Considering that we have procedural error, leave it aside. Constitutionally, we have no right to discuss that. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution laid foundation for alteration of Constitution in Section 9.2. Let me ask a simple question. Can we, by virtue of a bill, amend the Constitution? The answer is no. Mr. Speaker, Land Use Act is here. It says, okay, Constitution 315 says, if you go to 315, Mr. Speaker, 315, particularly 5. If I may read, nothing in this Constitution shall invalidate the following enactments. That is to say, the National Youth Service Corps Decree, the Public Complaints Commission Act, the National Security Agencies Act, and the Land Use Act. It went further to say how you can alter it. If this is so, the water bill in its entirety is an affront of the Land Use Act. The water bill seems to talk about water in the ground, water on the surface, water in the reservoir, water in the pot of soup,
yeah, Honorable Abonta,
Mr. Speaker,
your constitutional order is noted, but I think at this stage, because we've passed the stage of debate.
I'm not debating, sir.
No, you're debating the constitutional, and which I'm following you. I'm following you, actually, on what you're saying. But the issue is now, we're past that stage. The issue is now the procedure, how we got to that stage, which is what Honorable Zondo is raising. Ordinarily, the matter of privilege.
Before you shut me up, look at 64 of exclusive list.
Hold on.
If you look at 64 of exclusive list, what is not...
Hold on, Honorable. I understand what you're saying. It goes to the root. It's fundamental.
No,
but let us deal with the issue of procedure first, so that we don't conflate and confuse the issues. I think the issue is very clear to me.
Speaker, before I sit down, sir, when a matter of jurisdiction comes up, you determine jurisdiction before I say anything. We have no jurisdiction to even talk about this matter.
We have no... assuming that we have no jurisdiction in the matter, assuming that we have no jurisdiction in the matter, that should have been brought up at the point of the debate on general...
At the earliest possible time.
But we'll get that. We'll get there. Let's deal with one issue at a time. We'll get there. Let's deal with one issue at a time. I think the narrow issue here, before we get to that, if we are going to get to that at all, the narrow issue of Honorable Zondo is that the bill was not gazetted, according to him, reading the rules, contrary to our House rules, with demands for regazetting. So I think the simple question, and maybe because of the importance of this matter, ordinarily matters of privilege are not meant to be debated. But I think we'll suspend rules just to have one or two contributions. And it's important that Honorable Sada, who basically sponsored the bill, should have the
information first. I want to give.
We'll get Honorable Sada and we'll get the chairman rules and business.
Mr. Speaker, in the first place, I did not sponsor the bill. The bill is an executive bill, and this bill, historically, you are the first person to move debate on this bill when you are the majority leader, historically. all the histories are there in the journals. These bills followed the normal procedure of the House as enshrined, excuse me, please. As enshrined in the order of this book, in order of this. And this bill, Mr. Speaker, my brother Abonta, he was sitting for nearly 1 hour when this bill was passed, was considered on this floor. You were here on the 23rd. He was here. So, Mr. Speaker, when a member is saying that this House has no right to entertain that because there is constitutional provision, that is not true. We must not misinform members about the provision of this bill. That bill is a consolidation of 4 acts. One act is 1986, that's the Water Resources Act. The other one is River Basin Development Authorities of 1985. The other one is Nigerian Hydrological Agency Act of 2010, and there is Nigerian Institute of Water Resources, Mando Kaduna, of 1986. These bills were consolidated. Can you imagine one of the provisions in the bill is still talking about Bendel State? It's still talking about Bendel State. Then if you look at the catchment zone areas of
Honorable Sada, just like I didn't want him to debate the bill, let's address is what is applicable in this instance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we've read Rule 16, we've read Rule 18. I think the two of them have one thing in common, and that is the issue of regazetting. Although Rule 16 now gives an alternative. It says, all copies circulated. So what we need to find out now is whether or not it was regazetted or clean copies were circulated.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, sir.
We need to find out.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Honorable colleagues, please.
Please.
You know, it's important when we do our business, and I'm glad that you've agreed that is the only issue, the narrow issue here.
Yes.
The issue of constitutional and all of those things, for me, though very important, are not things we should be considering at this point in time. And in all things, you know, we prayed this morning as we pray every day. We say, help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. And that is what we should do here. So, but I will allow Honorable Abonta to say what he wants to say, and then I'll give my ruling on this issue so that we don't tell. Honorable
Thank
Abonta.
you, Mr. Speaker. I remain again. I want to invoke, Mr. Speaker, permit me to invoke our rules.
Kuye, go back to your seat.
Section 717. I invite the spirit of this session to ask you.
He's walking.
Hello. I remain Uzoma Nkem Abonta again. I invoke.
Honorable colleagues, please.
Permit me to invoke section rules, order 7, rule 7.1 of our rules. Invoking the intendment and spirit of it, I call upon you that the spirit of this session beseech you to do the needful by interpreting the rules, which is all of you. 2, before I take my seat, this is the paper that were used to do that motion. It was labeled section 18. Now he recalculated that he relied on 16. So it was a bunch of deceit if we came by 18 and see. Therefore, subject this to your ruling and give us your ruling as compelled here. Thank you.
The motion relied on Rule 18. Can I have a look?
I will tender the court of rule.
Okay. Honorable colleagues, we have a matter of privilege on the floor. Matters of privilege are not meant to be debated, but because of the sensitivity of the matter, we open it up for debate. Matters of privilege are not meant to be debated, but because of the sensitivity of the matter, we open it up for debate. Honorable colleagues, I have just read out the prayers that we pray every day. And I want you to recall that I had a bill on the floor of this House, the infectious disease bill, which at the end of the day generated a lot of controversy. We were informed that we passed it with the speed of light, which was neither here nor there, and that the procedure was wrong, and that it was not sent for public hearing. And being sensitive to the people, I stepped my bill down and I sent it to public hearing. Fundamental issues have been raised by Honorable Mzondo about his privilege and that of many others being breached. He has backed it up by clear language and provisions of our rules, which says any such bill must be regazetted. The chairman business and rules sought to rely on Rule 16, which gives a window of either regazette or clean copies. Unfortunately, it appears some people have done their homework. I was presented with the motion itself for the day, which did not talk about Rule 16, but talked about Rule 18, which does not give the alternative of clean copies, which strictly says it must be regazetted. We don't want to do things here that the courts will annul based on even procedure. So there may still be good in this bill, but I think it's good to err on the side of caution. And I think the bill should be sent back for regazetting and brought back to the floor so that we'll consider it and nobody will have any issue at that point. The right thing would have been done. So the ruling will be that, please, very quickly, Chairman Business and Rule, please send the bill for regazetting and bring it back to the floor.